Jamaica, the island that moves the world. There are places you hear about once and never forget. Jamaica is one of them. Mention its name, and images come rushing in, vibrant music drifting through the air, golden beaches under fiery sunsets, athletes sprinting like lightning, and people speaking in a melody that feels like poetry. For such a small island, Jamaica has built a reputation far larger than its borders. To understand why, we need to dive into its land, people, struggles, triumphs, and the rhythm that drives it all. The land of wood and water. Jamaica's very name comes from the Taino word JAMAICA, meaning land of wood and water. And true enough, nature is at the heart of everything here. The island, stretching about 235 kilometers long and 84 kilometers wide, lies south of Cuba, west of Haiti, and east of the Cayman Islands. Though only the fourth largest island in the Caribbean, its terrain is astonishingly varied. Mountains rise dramatically, with the Blue Mountains towering at the eastern edge. Blue Mountain Peak, the highest point at 2,256 meters, 7,402 feet, offers sweeping views that, on clear mornings, can stretch all the way to Cuba. These slopes are also the birthplace of Jamaica's most prized export, Blue Mountain coffee, considered one of the finest and most expensive coffees in the world. The interior is marked by cockpit country, a rugged landscape of sinkholes, limestone hills, and caves that provided natural defense for escaped slaves known as Maroons. Rivers like the Black River, once used to transport goods and slaves, now carry tourists on bamboo rafts through lush wetlands where crocodiles glide silently. Offshore, coral reefs and shallow banks support an incredible diversity of marine life. Jamaica also hosts some of the most unusual natural spectacles on Earth. At Glistening Waters Lagoon, microorganisms light up the water with a blue glow whenever disturbed. Windsor's Fire Spring in Saint Ann has flammable gases bubbling up from the ground, allowing water to literally ignite. Add in bubbling hot springs, cascading waterfalls like Dunn's River Falls, and the mystical Blue Lagoon of Portland, and Jamaica begins to feel like a land of living magic. Quirks in the map. Jamaicans are famous for giving places unforgettable names. You might stumble into towns called Rat Trap, Rest and Be Thankful, See Me No More, or Wait a Bit. Each carries a story, sometimes humorous, sometimes tragic, but always colorful. This naming tradition reflects the Jamaican spirit, straightforward, witty, and unafraid to laugh at life. The island is divided into 14 parishes, with Kingston serving as both capital and parish. Historically, the land was grouped into 3 counties with British names, Cornwall, Middlesex, and Surrey, a reminder of colonial influence. But Jamaica has never been content to just carry someone else's identity. It always reshapes the old into something entirely its own. A people of many roots. Jamaica's motto, out of many, one people, is not just words on a coat of arms, it's a living reality. Nearly 3 million people call Jamaica home, and while the majority are of African descent, the island is also shaped by its Indian, Chinese, Middle Eastern, and European communities. This mix created a culture that is both unique and global. The story begins with the Taino and Arawak peoples, the island's first known inhabitants. Then came Spanish colonizers in the late 15th century, followed by the British in 1655. Enslaved Africans were brought to work on sugar plantations, enduring centuries of brutality. When slavery was abolished in 1838, the British sought new laborers, bringing Indians and Chinese workers who, over time, became woven into Jamaica's cultural fabric. Today, Jamaicans live all over the world. In fact, the Jamaican diaspora is estimated to be nearly equal in size to the population back home. From London to Toronto, New York to Miami, Jamaican communities carry their traditions abroad, influencing global culture at every turn. Language and expression. Officially, Jamaica speaks English. But anyone who has visited knows that the real voice of the island is Jamaican patois. This English-based Creole, rich with African linguistic roots and bits of Spanish, Portuguese, and even Hindi, is a living expression of resilience. Patois doesn't follow rigid grammar rules, it flows like music, changing from community to community, but always instantly recognizable. It's also filled with colorful proverbs and expressions. If someone says, one cocoa full basket, they mean small steps lead to big results. Or, every mickle mecca muckle, meaning every little bit adds up. Through patois, Jamaicans find both humor and wisdom in daily life, making the language a cultural treasure in its own right. Faith and belief. Jamaica holds the world record for the most churches per square kilometer. Christianity, introduced during colonial times, remains central to life. Yet Jamaica also gave birth to one of the most recognizable Afrocentric movements of the 20th century, Rastafarianism. Emerging in the 1930s, Rastafarianism blends biblical themes with Pan-African ideals, reverence for Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie, and a deep connection to nature. Though only about 5% of Jamaicans identify as Rastafarians, the movement's global influence is enormous, particularly through music, symbols like dreadlocks, and the sacramental use of cannabis. Speaking of cannabis, Jamaica's relationship with it is unique. Though long associated with the culture, marijuana was strictly illegal until 2015. Today, small amounts are decriminalized, and cultivation is legal with licenses, while Rastafarians are free to use it for religious practices. Food, a flavor explosion. Jamaican cuisine is as bold as its people. The national dish, ackee and salt fish, may surprise newcomers. The ackee fruit, when properly cooked, has a savory, almost scrambled egg-like texture, paired with salted cod. Jerk cooking, with its smoky, spicy marinades of pimento and Scotch bonnet peppers, has become world famous. Other staples include rice and peas, actually beans, fried plantains, steamed callaloo, beef patties wrapped in golden pastry, and sweet coconut desserts like gizadas. Soups carry cultural weight too. Manish water, made from goat's head, is said to be a powerful energy booster, while chicken foot soup is a humble yet beloved comfort food. Music, Jamaica's greatest gift to the world. If Jamaica gave nothing else to the world, its music alone would secure its place in history. In the 1950s, ska emerged with its fast horns and bouncing rhythm. This gave way to rocksteady, a slower groove that paved the road for reggae in the 1960s. Reggae became Jamaica's global calling card, spreading messages of love, resistance, and unity. From reggae came dancehall, dub, and other genres that influenced hip-hop, punk rock, EDM, and beyond. Icons like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Jimmy Cliff, and Burning Spear carried Jamaican sound across the globe, while later artists like Shabba Ranks, Sean Paul, and Shaggy brought dancehall into the mainstream. Today, Jamaican beats pulse through nearly every corner of global music. Sport and pride. If music is Jamaica's heartbeat, athletics is its sprinting soul. The island has produced some of the world's fastest humans. Usain Bolt, Johan Blake, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce turned Jamaica into a sprinting superpower. At the Olympic Games, Jamaica consistently dominates the 100m and 200m races, punching far above its weight on the global stage. Cricket and football are also beloved, but Jamaica's sporting identity goes beyond warm weather events. The island famously fielded a bobsled team in the 1988 Winter Olympics, inspiring the film Cool Runnings. There's even a national ice hockey team, though most players are Canadian-born Jamaicans. The point is clear: Jamaicans will take on any sport, anywhere, and do it with flair. A history of struggle and independence. Jamaica's path to freedom was not easy. After centuries of slavery, rebellion after rebellion rocked the island, from the Maroon Wars to the Morant Bay Rebellion of 1865. These struggles hardened the Jamaican spirit, embedding resistance into the nation's DNA. Independence finally came in 1962, making Jamaica a proud sovereign state, though still part of the Commonwealth. The British monarch remains the symbolic head of state, but Jamaicans increasingly debate whether it's time to fully cut ties and become a republic. Friends, rivals, and the world stage. Jamaica maintains strong bonds with fellow Caribbean nations, especially in trade, tourism, and cultural exchange. Rivalries with Trinidad and Barbados flare up in sports and tourism bragging rights, but at the end of the day, it's a family dynamic. Cuba has long provided medical aid and education partnerships, while China's investments in infrastructure have raised both hope and suspicion. Ethiopia remains spiritually significant due to Rastafarian ties. Yet Jamaica's deepest friendships lie with the USA, Canada, and the UK, home to the largest Jamaican diasporas and constant flows of remittances, cultural exchange, and music. The global legacy. Jamaica may be small in size, but its cultural footprint is massive. From the philosophy of Marcus Garvey to the music of Bob Marley, from Olympic records to mouth-watering jerk chicken, Jamaica embodies a mix of struggle, creativity, and joy that the world can't resist. It is an island of paradoxes, fiery yet laid back, tiny yet globally mighty, rooted in history yet endlessly inventive. The rhythms of Jamaica continue to ripple outward, shaping how the world dances, sings, cooks, and even thinks about freedom. Jamaica is not just an island, it is a universe in miniature. A place where resilience meets rhythm, where struggle turns into art, and where the world is constantly reminded that greatness is not measured in size, but in spirit.